Hello, my name is Jack Taylor, and this is part 19 of Imagine Christmas. Today we're going to be talking about Caesar Augustus. Now, there are all kinds of people who play a part in the Christmas story without realizing it, just like there are all kinds of people who have impacted our lives without realizing it. Some of those with significant impact are the government. Caesar Augustus is listed in Luke chapter 2 as making a decree for a census throughout the entire Roman Empire. Now, he was born Gaius Octavius in 63 BC. He was adopted by Julius Caesar and designated as his son and his heir. When Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, Gaius Octavius had to fight for the throne. Now, those of you who are historians will know that Gaius Octavius took on that name, Caesar Augustus, when he became the first Roman emperor. He reigned from 27 BC to 14 AD, which was right before and right after the time when Christmas arrived. He was given titles like Savior of the World, Supreme Ruler, and Son of God because of his relationship to Julius Caesar and because of what he had done in unifying the Roman Empire. He was hailed like the Son of God because of who Julius Caesar was designated. Now, you'll notice something very quickly. When Jesus was born, he would be given titles like the Savior of the World, the Supreme Ruler, the Son of God. And you know, only one person can carry the weight of those titles. Something was going to have to shift. Octavius's final battle was with Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Of course, they committed suicide and gave the control of the empire to him. Egypt, Northern Africa, Spain, other countries, they came under his control, and thousands of miles of roads were built by that massive slave force he had. And somehow the army and the roads had to be paid for. So the census was issued to register future army recruits and to collect taxes for those roads. He doesn't realize that his words are going to help the Christmas story unfold as it should. When Caesar makes a decree, he is just doing what he thinks governments do. When our government leaders issue edicts, they often act without thought that they are the agents of God in carrying out his plans. All the time? Well, they need our prayers because their accountability will be intense. Maybe you had a coach or a teacher or a family member or a neighbor or a boss or maybe even a pastor who made a choice that impacted you in a way that still messes with you. It can be hard to trust that God can weave that into something worthwhile. Maybe it's hard to trust at all. Have you got any immovable pieces in your life? Things you're sure are beyond control? Maybe you feel stuck in your circumstances. Maybe there are personalities or positions or problems that are bigger than you can imagine. If God can move an emperor and an empire to accomplish moving the figures of the Christmas story into place, then he can move any of the pieces in our life that we need adjusted. The Christmas story reminds us of this, and it reassures us. That's why we focus on themes like hope and peace and joy and love in this season. Now, Augustus has a personal relationship with Herod the Great, and he allows the Jews to keep their Sabbath, to send their temple tax to Jerusalem, to receive Roman citizenship, and to study Jewish law. But one of the Jewish practices that had already been in place was that people needed to register in their hometowns. That was the place of their ancestors. Now that's going to come into play and mean that Mary and Joseph are going to have to travel back to the place of their roots. That practice was in place long before Caesar came to the throne. So when leaders of our world start shaking things up and creating havoc in our everyday comfort, stop a moment and see if God is up to something. He sure was that first Christmas, but neither Caesar nor Herod understood that. The beauty of knowing someone else is managing the big pieces of our life story means that we can just live out the simple things that we can do with confidence, one step at a time. So tomorrow we're going to look at a few more of the familiar characters that we associate more directly with the Christmas story. So let's keep imagining Christmas together.